Welcome everybody. It's exciting to be here for Town Hall number 75. We have our friends from Wysi going to take us through some really cool case studies. Actually, we've got Russell Gilman, who will be showing how the Siteglide partners like Wysi utilizing their hybrid SaaS. We're going to find out what hybrid SaaS is and why just copying other SaaS products in the CMS e-commerce space is the wrong way to go. The hybrid SaaS future-proof SaaS. From this session, we're going to look at how they're using Siteglide and PlatformOS, of course, how that benefits Wysi and how that benefits them in terms of winning leads, as well as right through to development and having an open-ended opportunity for their clients to build in any direction. And then they're going to showcase some of their latest projects, how they were set up, and how they have been future-proofed. So without further ado, Russell, it's over to you.
Thanks very much, Adam, and hello to everyone. Thanks for joining us. So yes, I'm Russell Gilman. I'm the agency manager here at Wysi. We're a UK digital agency, and I'm going to be sharing with you how Wysi are able to grow our agency using the hybrid SaaS approach. We're going to be joined a bit later by Devon Reel from digital agency Engine8, based in the United States, and also by my colleague Josh Carter, the senior developer here at Wysi, who will be both talking through a couple of the projects in a little bit more detail. So what is hybrid SaaS? So I'm sure that everyone's familiar with the terms SaaS and PaaS, software as a service, platform as a service. But what do we mean by hybrid SaaS? So in this case, the hybrid in hybrid SaaS is referring to the relationship between PlatformOS and Siteglide. And we're finding that this relationship really delivers an unparalleled sort of no limits solution for Wysi as a digital agency and therefore our clients. The combination really enables Wysi first and foremost to meet the needs of our clients, however demanding those needs may be. And we're increasingly finding that we're actually very quickly able to suggest a solution to pretty much every problem our clients throw at us at the moment, which is great. And the combination of PlatformOS and Siteglide really enables us to meet our goals as an agency in that sense as well. So we're increasingly able to take on complex, high-value, bespoke projects. We can also work more efficiently and effectively. We can also ensure our developers are engaged with modern cutting-edge technology on a day-to-day basis, which is obviously great for morale and very enjoyable to work with. And all of this is great news, both for our clients and for our increasing, expanding portfolio of work. So that's our sort of understanding of hybrid SaaS there. So let's take a bit of a look at that in action. So firstly, in terms of PlatformOS, which delivers world-class DevOps via a growing out-of-the-box ecosystem. We've listed a few of the core technologies and tools which form the foundation of PlatformOS. GraphQL, Liquid, YAML, Node.js, multi-cloud solution, not necessarily fixed to one particular cloud platform, Elasticsearch, and very flexible with API integrations. So in terms of things that are perhaps less developer focused, PlatformOS provides us with notably flexible access, structuring and filtering of database objects such as web apps, and provides us with an industry sort of leading reliability, security and scalability in that sense. And we're very aware that the PlatformOS team working hard at a DevOps level to ensure we're continually future-proofed in that sense, picking up new technologies and staying at the cutting edge at all times, which is great for client projects and as an agency as a whole. That brings us on to Siteglide, which is a powerful CMS that provides point-and-click implementation of the core PlatformOS code base. It really is a sort of a very easy-to-use UI built on PlatformOS with a focus on the user experience. And what we found is that Siteglide reduces development time due to the flexibility with the modules, web apps, even for complex projects. It also involves functionality for email marketing, which is continually improving, which is great. E-commerce functionality, it's got a CRM, CMS, obviously secure zones, allowing to protect certain areas of the site, flexible coding with the command line. We're making use of the design system, which is using the Figma online tool to get a great starting point for designs and building those out to code. And also behind the scenes, and support team, and obviously the Siteglide portal, which is a great way to bring all the sites together, and is now integrating billing, all of it built on PlatformOS. So it really enables non-developers and clients, such as those of Wysi, to easily access, manage and create content for themselves. So really at numerous levels, from client all the way through to sort of senior developer, everyone benefits with access to the power of PlatformOS at the core. So Wysi, our agency, how does the combination of Siteglide and PlatformOS benefit Wysi? Well, it's really the combination of PlatformOS and Siteglide that's key to our success as a full service digital agency. We can capitalize on the hybrid SaaS solution and provide a wide range of cutting edge solutions, best practice solutions to our growing list of clients. This is obviously great when we're working on a new brief for new clients. We can scope out, plan and design pretty much anything really, from templated sort of brochure websites all the way through to entirely bespoke applications. And obviously coming back to the functionality of Siteglide, we can build out e-commerce sites and complex marketplace solutions. Obviously a key factor is business catalyst migrations, of which they're ongoing, and it's a great tool to be able to do that. But it also allows us the flexibility to build out those complex API integrations, which are considerably easier with the support of PlatformOS and Siteglide working together, which is obviously great for our clients and our development times. The result is that we have best practice builds that are future proof for further development, really, which is great. We can really sort of rely on the fact that PlatformOS is at the cutting edge of technology in that sense. And to top it off, our clients are really assured that they'll be able to easily edit and manage their content, and ultimately have very secure and reliable solutions off the back of PlatformOS and Siteglide. And obviously, because we're building off a future-proof core, we know we can always scale our projects as our clients grow themselves. They won't hit limitations and become forced to move to an entirely new platform, for example, or an unfamiliar platform. And the result is high value results for our clients, which is ultimately great for our clients and great for us. So that's really how we see the sort of hybrid SaaS in action across PlatformOS, Siteglide, through to Wysi as an agency. So in summary, what does that mean for our clients? What does the combination of PlatformOS and Siteglide mean? It means that we can provide our clients with bespoke websites and complex applications. It means our clients have peace of mind that what we build is future-proof and can grow as they grow without hitting limitations later on. Our clients can create, improve and manage their online assets. They can also be confident about their website security, speed and uptime. And our clients can rest assured that all aspects of their online presence are in safe, reliable hands at all stages of the process. So what does this mean for our agency? Well, with our clients happy, the hybrid SaaS combination of PlatformOS and Siteglide means that we're working with new and cutting edge technology every day, which, as I say, is great for our development team and as an agency as a whole. It means we can choose creative, exciting and challenging projects to work on. And we're confident that what we build is future-proof. And we can win and successfully complete large-scale enterprise-level projects, which means we can attract inspired new clients, partners, and team members with our growing success stories. And importantly, we do what we love. We love what we do, and ultimately the result of that is that we grow our agency. So just running onto a few examples from Festival Place, Basingstoke being the first one. This was a website that we went live, I believe, September 2019. Festival Place is one of the top 25 UK shopping and leisure complexes in the country, in the UK, and the requirement was to build them a new modern website design. The previous site was very old, very outdated, a lot of content, a lot of functionality, but the user experience was quite poor. The client wanted it to be easy to update regularly themselves via a content management system that was easy to use. The previous system was quite clunky, quite difficult to manage all the content they were looking to add regularly. It also needed to integrate various APIs at the outset and then on an ongoing basis and into the future. So we're currently integrating a couple of APIs at the moment. And also a large part of the project was some interactive touchscreen kiosks, which connected to the Siteglide instance, read data from there, and were scattered throughout the shopping centre itself, providing users with easy access to maps, routes, etc. So just touching on the features and functionality before Josh goes into a bit more detail. We took the Siteglide design system approach, so working in Figma, creating designs on that basis, and then building them out according to that. In terms of web apps and modules, the shopping and dining directory made great use of the web apps and the modules functionality, using data sources, etc., to bring in offers, jobs, and events throughout the site. And also we brought in a news blog using the blogging module. And in terms of bespoke development, we introduced some custom search and filtering, interactive kiosk search, which was using touchscreen keyboard on the screen, and integration of cinema and lost property APIs, which is currently ongoing, with future development involving APIs to make the implementation of offers, jobs, and events more easy to do on the site. So with that in mind, I'll hand you over to Josh, who'll briefly go through things in a bit more detail from a technical point of view.
Thanks, Russell. Appreciate that. Right.
Do you want to grab the screen, Josh?
Yeah. Do you want to
stop sharing?
Stop sharing quickly. Yeah. Cool. Right. Can we all see my screen? Excellent. So yeah, Festival Place was a really interesting project for us. It was the first shopping centre retail site that we'd done, and we used Siteglide to its fullest extent, and PlatformOS on that side as well. So we took over the whole design and UI and UX of the project using our design system. If I just move into shopping here, we can see the biggest part of the database is each individual shop. So this is actually stored in Siteglide. We've got every single item along here. We go into one of these, say Cafe Apricot, which is where we store body text description for the main site. And then coming down here, we've got all of our fields that are used in the kiosk as well. We'll move on to that in a second. So in here we've got custom filtering, very snappy, as which you can see. And if we move into, say, the 3 store, we've got an interactive map here that shows you exactly where the location is of the shop and any relevant information. And then also using data sources, which are really useful to allow you to pull in data from other web apps. So we've actually got a brands web app, and then we can apply that inside. So if we go into the admin here, should be able to see. If I can find it. Always a difficult one to do. Yeah, so here's an example of a data source. So we've got related jobs that we can apply to this. This will then appear in the front end alongside here. There we go, there's the brands. So we've got the entire list of brands here available to us. If So yeah, really fun project on that front. Moving on to the kiosk itself. This is actually built using Electron as well. So we've actually packaged an application and sent off to Festival Place to load onto each individual kiosk. So we've got a range of different functionality. All of this is being pulled in from the Siteglide instance and managed on the Siteglide instance. We've also got code in here to refresh every single day at 4 a.m. So it's always pulling in fresh data. And we've also got functionality to allow to remote reload if there is an issue with one of the items that they've uploaded. Say there's a typo or anything like that, we can update it like that. So we've got a full list of jobs here, which you can go through to. We've got nice isotope filtering alongside. And we could go into here and then go click that, and that will take us into the center map here, and that will show us this shop's profile. So this is the main part of the kiosk. You go around and then you can see individual shops. Say click on M&S here. We can see where our current location is down here, and we can press direct me, and that will then direct you straight through the shop. We've also then got lists, so we can go into individual shops, click O2, that will then give us that same functionality. Then also got the ability to filter and search, say find Apple, and that will also then let us direct to there. So this is actually, all of this data is being pulled in using one of my favorite things in PlatformOS, and you can also use in Siteglide via CLI, is creating these API endpoints. So we're using Liquid here, and we're pulling out all of the locations, and then we're building it into this array, which then the JavaScript inside can then view and create this map accordingly. The client then can also come in at any point and add a brand new item, give it some coordinates on the map, which they have access to through a developer portal, and then that will appear at 4 a.m. the next day. So this was a really fun one to do, and we've got things like the View Cinema API, which allows you to see all of the listings for that current day. So yeah, really enjoyed that project.
It's super slick and really fast.
Yeah.
What platform did you guys build on again?
Not too sure, actually. Maybe Siteglide.
Awesome. It's brilliant. Love it. Russell, you're on mute if you're talking. Or Josh.
Josh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
If I just grab the screen back from you. Josh?
Nice demo, Josh. Great job, guys. Over to you, Russell.
Thanks, Adam. So yeah, thanks, Josh, for going through Festival Place. So on to the next example. Oh, bear with me. Which is eGarden Go. Now eGarden Go is a site that we've worked on with Devon at Engine 8, and is described as a DIY garden recipes for every skill level. So basically providing lots of combos of different plants for gardens, etc. Best if I leave that to Devon to explain. But the project overall involved migration of the front-end design, complex structure of web apps, and our particular role was the bespoke filtering functionality. So just a brief overview of the features and functionality that involved: web apps modules, web apps and modules for plants, the blog, filter parameters, photos, journals, planting plans, and some bespoke development. Obviously was the bespoke filtering. So I'll hand you over to Devon at Engine 8 and Josh as well, who'll go through this in a bit more detail. I will also stop sharing my screen.
Unmuted. All right, cool. All right, so I'll share my screen real quick. I got some stuff open. Yeah, so we worked on, this was a direct migration from Adobe BC. We built this in BC. This site was built twice in BC. Once kind of roughly, and then the client invested to build it when Liquid sort of was first rolled out, and then BC ended, so we had to find a new home. But there were some distinct advantages in this rebuild, specifically. So essentially, this is a plant database. There's a combo database as well, which is just like a recipe for putting plants together, right? But they're two separate databases. And you can see here, sorry, in the left column that you saw in the screenshots, there's a bunch of filters that you can use, okay, to filter this database of 500 results for right now down. So you can trigger like what plants are in combos. You could choose a planting zone, which is something gardeners know depending on where they live. So there's a lot of different combinations and options. And in addition, there's a keyword search, which is more than just searching like the title, which is what basically all we could do in BC. Josh built a super slick sync function, which basically takes like the name values of every filter, right? So like if there's a filter foliage type evergreen, this has an ID, right? So no one's going to type in the ID. They're going to type in the word evergreen, and we would want the result to come up for evergreen. But Josh basically built a syncing tool that will convert all the IDs into their name values and put them into a search keyword field. So you're benefiting from being able to do keyword searches against these filters as well. So I'll just show you. This is what the public would see, and we're still putting data in here and pictures and things of that nature. There's also an admin view, which the owner of the site can use to basically manage her combinations and plants from the front end. So you can see over on the left, now I'm seeing different things. I'm seeing data status, right? Like these are things that the public can't see. I'm seeing different toggles and that kind of thing. And then at the bottom, I've got this sync keywords feature, which basically loops through. Josh can describe this in a much more technical way, but basically loops through and will like trigger different syncing functionality, and we'll go through the entire database and do that keyword sync that I mentioned. So just one other thing I'll mention, and then I'll turn it over to Josh, is that this is a pretty heavy, I would say this is a pretty heavy web app. When we built it in BC, we built it as a plant web app that had values in the field. So it'd be like you'd pick the values that were predetermined in the field. So if it was like the color one, it would say blue, green, red in the field of the web app. But that didn't really work great, because what if I want to change the word red to reddish or something like that? And then I have to go do that in all the data. And if I'm doing imports and exports, it just gets really messy. So instead, we built a bunch of different filter web apps that all the plants and combos could use. And so there's a ton of multi-data source fields going on here. So for example, you can see in this left column of Siteglide, you can see I've got a filter for color. Here's a filter for plant foliage quality. So all of these different variables are web app items. And so when I'm in a plant and I wanna trigger something like I want the plant type, I'm using a multi-data source web app field, which is unique to Siteglide, that did not exist in BC. We've used that all over the place. And I can like add in multiple filters here, and they're ID based. So again, if I choose make house plant into house plants, it still maintains the integrity of my data. So that's been massive. That's probably been the biggest feature, most valuable feature for this and other projects in Siteglide. So Josh, if you want to chime in, we can see also here, his little syncing process is still going. There's a lot of things in here. So client just triggers this, it runs, and then she's got a fully re-indexed database in the keyword fields.
Cheers, thank you, Devin.
Yep.
So yeah, eGarden Go was also another great project to work on, not just because the type of work it is, but also working with Devin has always been great. So yeah, one of the great things that PlatformOS and Siteglide has allowed us to do is make really performant websites. Now, I haven't actually opened up the previous BC website, but it takes a long time for each page to load. And if we go into here, that's pretty much as quick as you could probably want. You've barely got time to see the loading indicator there. I mean, that's only 12 items at a time. But say if we move to 120, that's maybe a second to pull out 100 items.
Yeah, it was about a 10x increase in speed.
Yeah. So we were really impressed by how far we can actually take it. So yeah, if we move into 500 results, it's about 2 seconds maybe. So this has been a really fun one to do. Really pushing the limit for how far we can take querying and filtering in PlatformOS, and it's doing really well. We haven't been able to fault it yet, so yeah, really enjoyed that.
Questions come through just while we're talking technical too, and we hope to further improve those performance times as well, guys. That's just what we do. We're going to keep making that faster and faster. Ursh has got a question. Was there an automated image optimization process that you used? I'm guessing maybe S3 direct upload optimization feature on PlatformOS via Siteglide?
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, Siteglide is doing some image compression based on the direct to S3. We actually haven't found the need to do any additional compression beforehand. Or any resizing, because it's all handled for us. It's one of the great things as well. Now, admittedly, all of these images are very similar because the site isn't completed yet, and they will be as time goes on. But in places where we've had to pull out loads of images, we haven't had a problem with them taking forever to load. If I just go into the code here, we can see another one of my favorite things, which is the PlatformOS API pages, which essentially allows you to make your own API. You can go as far as you really want to. So whenever you do a search in here, or do a filter, or change any one of these, we can see that it does a post to fetch search data. And this will actually contain HTML of all things. So we're actually feeding this endpoint everything that it could possibly want based on the filters that we've applied here. So in this page, I've actually put it inside a code snippet so that this code is available from the front end as well in Siteglide. That's a great thing. You can also choose to hide pages if you want to in Siteglide. This page here, I don't want the clients to touch. So I haven't included the metadata parameter, which shows and hides it from Siteglide. So that really gives you some control, whereas on Business Catalyst, you didn't really have that option. You get all of them or you don't get any at all, and your site's not going to work. So going into here, we've got some fairly complicated liquid going on. We're also building out, one of my favorite things to do in Graph is actually build out variables and JSON arrays and then pass them directly into Graph. So we can see here, I'm building a dynamic array based on the parameters that are being passed to it. So I don't have to build out every single possible combination of GraphQuery to make sure it's as performant as possible. So if I do a get search in here, we can see that the query is just there, and then the properties is just a filter. We're not doing any additional defining of what fields we want to filter on, because that's actually all being generated here. And then along here, we then pull out every single item, and this is all in HTML. So the reliance on JavaScript is actually very minimal. The only JavaScript we're using is to do the API calls and then to manage the way that these filters work. So that actually helps speed up development time as well, because you're not constantly debugging JavaScript as you go. Yeah, as for the admin filter functionality with the sync keywords, this wasn't the easiest thing to build in the world, purely because of how complex it can be. But as Devin said, this goes through, I think it's 200 at a time, and it will build this array of text based on the filters that it has. And so they can go through and update all of these. There's also catches in place. So if there's a network error, or if there's some malformed JSON that comes along, it will alert you to that, and then you can resubmit that search as well. So the way that this works, get that out of the way. We have the sync keywords. This also uses variable names to choose which query we want to do. This will then loop over each item and then build out a keywords, which is based on these here. So that then allows you to search for summer or fall or year round, 3 seasons of interest sort of thing. This does a mutation, which is also dynamic, to update the keywords through here to the specified field that we want to query on. So when we're doing our search, we know that we're going to query against this field instead of actually searching against the name field. So that allows us to really push how far we can do the search. So yeah, that's all for me on eGarden Go.
I was going to add like 2 more things, which is there was a lot of there was a lot of data to move from Business Catalyst, and I had nothing to do with that. Aisha on our team is a Excel wizard, built like a data machine that converted BC IDs to Siteglide IDs and coached our client through getting some stuff through. But we did a ton of importing into web apps. I mean, almost none of these plants and combos were created in any way other than imports. So, I mean, if there was something we could break, we probably broke it, and then Siteglide would fix it or improve the performance of imports. So I would say this project in general helped us understand the import process of Siteglide well, but also I think it just made that platform even better from an import perspective. That was the case in this and in another project. So.
Great. Okay. Thanks very much, Devin and Josh.
Now we've got a question that's come through, and it's from Martin. Martin's asked, how many files in total are used to post on to the API?
How many files are used to post API? So we literally only have this single page that we go to. Then inside here, we've got that code snippet. And this is the only page that we really need alongside this one. Unless I've, oh, sorry, I do apologize. Easily done. Yeah, so we've got the fetch search data page with this include. And then this is the front-facing one that we can access in Siteglide because it's got this metadata that allows it to be shown. Because we've got dynamic query graphs, GraphQL files, we only have, let's just find what they're called, get search. We have 4 GraphQL files in total, 1 to return the list and 1 to return the grid, because they both show different information. So on the grid view, you literally only have the name and the image, and then on the list we pull out some more information like the scientific name, some zones that they're in. That's also using data sources to pull this out, so related models essentially, and it's really fast, and so really making sure that your queries are being as efficient as possible. You can quite easily get some really good performance from that.
Great. Okay, thanks, Josh. I'll grab the screen back from you if that's okay. So yes, that covers eGarden Go. Moving on to the third example we've got, which is a website for a company, UK-based company, Vanson Bourne. They're a global technology market research experts, and we're working on a BC site for them, have done for a number of years, I believe, but they reached the point where they were looking to do a full redesign alongside migration of data from Adobe Business Catalyst to Siteglide. The project involved recreating their research database, including a bespoke search functionality, so categories, subcategories, searching by client name, I believe. And it was a multi-phase project, so we've completed phase 1 as part of Go Live, but with a view to phase 2 and potentially future projects going ahead. So with that in mind, the fact that we could future-proof development, knowing that what we were building would be able to be built upon, ongoing into the future, was a great benefit, and enabled us to break it down into those initial phases, knowing that however the site developed, it could grow successfully. So just a brief overview of some of the features and functionality before I pass over to Josh again. Again, from Siteglide, using the web apps and modules for the research database, team profiles, which also involved messaging via the forms functionality, a news blog, and in terms of the bespoke development for this, the particular focus was on the bespoke search feature. And with that in mind, I'll pass you back to Josh again. If I can, there we go. Over to you, Josh.
Yeah, let's unmute myself. So Vanson Bourne have been one of our clients for a good while now. Remember building Vanson Bourne probably 3 or 4 years ago now. And their brand has completely changed since then. But yeah, we helped design alongside them to get a nice cohesive brand image going. So the main part of their site for them is their research. So they're basically a market research company. Large IT companies will come to them, ask them to do market research, and this is basically their advertising site for that. So they have a public-facing database. Doesn't contain too much information for the public, but say if we go into here, we can see about the client and some just general high-level overview of what was done for that research and any press attention that had got. And you also have the functionality to search by client, filter by topic, and really go into some finer detail on that. There's certain subtopics based on that. That then allows potential clients to see what kind of work they've worked in before, get in contact, fill out this form, and then Vanson Bourne can carry on that process from that point onwards. So this is using the Siteglide admin web apps. This is where all the information is stored for the front-end website. But not only that, there is also internal information that they store for their own references. So we're not going to scroll down any further than this for data protection, but they have this little toggle here for enabled or disabled that allows them to show or hide if they want this project to be displayed publicly. So they can also use this to store all of their information that they need to do their day-to-day business, which is really good. Yeah, we enjoyed doing this project.
Great. Okay, thanks, Josh. I'll just grab the screen back. Good.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So I just wanted just before I finish there, I just wanted to go through a number of items to do with the migration side of things. So as I say, migrations are something that's coming to us quite regularly in terms of BC. Obviously, people coming to look to migrate to Siteglide or away from BC, and we're generally finding that actually we can take that opportunity to do full redesigns of sites. It's a great opportunity to be able to do that. And what we also find is that even migrating away from doing sort of as-is migrations. We're finding that there's ways that we can improve the site immeasurably, really, in terms of speed and functionality, which is great from a working sort of point of view, actually just improving the site to work with on a day-to-day basis, but also is great from a client point of view. They're actually essentially moving their same site from one platform to another, but actually improving it due to the enhanced capabilities of the platform. I mean, what we've also noticed is that we're really finding that there's so much flexibility with the PlatformOS and Siteglide combination that it's far more than just sort of another sort of BC copy. Essentially, it obviously has that functionality to be able to do sort of migrations, but that's really just the start of things. It's so much expandability, and as Josh has demonstrated, that's really just the aspects that Siteglide can touch into on PlatformOS are really just the beginning of things. So that really allows us to sell to clients and so that we can expand sites in much more detail, etc., and put additional functionality in. So yeah, just like to sort of end there and say thank you very much for paying attention and following along, and we'll be happy to answer your questions, either on anything we've covered now or anything that comes up in the future. You can get in touch with us via the website.
I did actually have one more thing to share. I think you'll like this, Adam.
Right.
You want to stop sharing a second quickly, Russell?
Yeah, hold on, bear with me. Yeah, go for it.
So some of our clients are focus on speed quite a lot. And one of the PlatformOS developers, Pavel, is a big fan of extreme performance. So for some of our clients that we've needed that really good and high performance on both mobile and desktop, we've been able to get a 99 for mobile and then 100 on desktop. So yeah, we've been really impressed with how far we can really push the system. And to be honest, you don't really see too many sites that are in the 99 to 100 range. So yeah.
And you awesome work. This is what I love to see, especially with dynamic sites. You probably only got 99 for
Yeah.
mobile. Is you've probably got a Google tracking JavaScript widget on that page, and that drops it. It's so funny. Google's own tools can reduce the speed by a point, but phenomenal. Love it, guys.
I actually haven't used that, so that might be another thing to get it up to 100.
Bit of work to do, Josh. Get that whip cracking.
Great stuff, guys. Really impressive. Well done, by the way, Russell and Josh. Great presentation. Devon, fantastic. Thank you for jumping in there and sharing your experience too. But it's very concise. Well done. I think I might have a new person to take over Town Hall coming up, Russell. Thank you for that. Great stuff, guys. Really awesome to see the collaboration amongst the Wysi, Siteglide, PlatformOS, the Engine 8 team, and just how cooperative that is. I think we're going to see a lot more really cool things. Performance obviously is our key metric. It's so important to be able to hit those good Google PageSpeed scores. And it's so important not to just reinvent Business Catalyst all over again, because it's the same old problem of painting into a corner and not giving web designers the flexibility into the future across infrastructure providers, or to do what you're doing, where you open up a command line interface tool and can create your own API endpoints at scale and performance that your clients need. So you guys have just demonstrated everything that we could have hoped for the platform. So congratulations, all of you. Brilliant work. So happy and impressed. Questions, everybody? Throw them out. Great presentation. You're awesome. Amazing work. Any questions? Machek says, well done. That's high praise. I'm sure Pavel, when he watches the video, hey Pavel, thanks for watching. Your name got a mention, so you have to watch. Good effort on the Google PageSpeed scores as well. Any questions? Can we get you back in 2 weeks? Yeah, that's a question for you, Russell.
Yes, I'm sure that'll be fine.
All right,
We're more than happy to come back and
I know
discuss what
Devon's
we
got some
can.
more things to show off too, and I know everybody else is championing the bit to share best practice. We're going to be open sourcing some cool things, cool projects coming up as well, so you'll be able to jump in and play with some other code in different ways. And of course, those watching the video who are looking for an agency to do work with, you've got Wysi, who have shown some great stuff. The Engine 8 team are building some pretty awesome stuff there as well. And of course, all powered by Siteglide, and behind them, PlatformOS. Multiple layers, but everybody adds value in the supply chain. There's a lot of things that happen when it comes to web, and we all want to be specialists and be able to do the very best. And our focus as a company is on performance, scalability, flexibility, security, all the things that you need. And we just love having these great partners who can turn your business ideas into reality and be able to do it at world's best practice. So thanks everyone for proving that out. No more questions. Everyone's just impressed. Speak now, type now, or forever hold your peace. We'll wrap it up. We'll give you back 10 minutes. Reeling your jaw in. Well done, Adam. Excellent stuff. Well, thanks again, guys. Fantastic work. I really appreciate it. Concise. I can't speak highly enough of how a great a job you did.
Thanks very much for the opportunity.
Russell, Josh, Devon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll hit stop on the record. And for those watching the recording, you saw the details. Please reach out to the team if you want to engage. And we'll be seeing you at Town Hall in 2 weeks from now.